What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Orcs Must Die 3. We're playing with the Xbox Game Pass and making our way through the Drastic Steps campaign. We are on the Canyon Keep. Now, this is a natural progression playthrough. I didn't do any skull farming. Let's jump on in and we'll go over our loadout. Now, for this one, it is without a doubt all about the flyers. In addition to that, the boss for this map is a flyer as well, and you will get every type of flyer. Now, since we're going to get every type of flyer, we want to make sure we're countering elements. For this run, I'm going to bring along the Stone Staff with increased secondary range, the Trap Reset Trinket, where traps reset faster, the Mana Rage Trinket with an increased mana pool, Tar Traps that have a persistent slow. We've got Brimstone that have been swapped over to Arcane damage, Ceiling Lasers with increased lasers, Barricades that take reduced damage, Grinders that slow, Arrow Walls that do fire damage, and then the Auto Ballista. The Auto Ballista I actually just unlocked, so I don't have a secondary upgrade on it yet. If you do have the skulls for it, I would take the increased range on this one. Now on this map, we are going to funnel all the enemies through this main killing hall. There will be tons of flyers we're going to have to be on the lookout for, and we'll set up for those as well, but we want to go ahead and just build it out so that we are forcing everything down through that main center lane. So we're going to have to barricade off those side lanes, and then in addition to that, we are going to want to barricade at the top of the stairs. Now, you can barricade anywhere along this tap path, even all the way back at the rift, but the farther back you barricade, of course, you're creating an area for the mobs to path back and forth, which is going to eat up your par time. So we're going to go ahead and just start it off like this, and then we're going to do just a little back and forth kill box here. So we're going to create an entrance. And, oops, we blocked them off. We're going to go something like that. So we'll go with a grinder there, an arrow wall there. Let's get some brimstone up front. And then we'll just alternate brimstone and tar throughout the entire thing. In addition to that, we do want to maximize our combos. So we're going to get the ceiling lasers in there as well. Let's just go ahead and let it fly for the first wave, and we will get it. Now, this first wave is going to be all flyers. We don't have a whole lot of flyer defense up right now, so for wave one, we're just going to burn them all down. The Stone Staff works really good. You can also freeze them with the ring if you have that unlocked. I don't have it unlocked yet, so I'm not going to be bringing that one. I'm just going to focus on the Stone Staff. The Stone Staff, of course, if you stone the flyers, they will just fall from the sky and be dead, so that is quite nice as well. And remember, these flyers all do have a ranged attack, and they can put the hurting on you if you're not careful. Particularly the frost flyers will freeze you in place, so you want to be conscious of that. But we are going to go ahead and just stone staff these bad boys up and see what we can do to get them all knocked out. I like to just hide and line of sight the shots, and then just hit them with the Stone Staff secondary as they make the turn. Here come those Frosties. And we still have more. This is a full flyer wave, so no shortage of flyers. You see all of the different flyer types. Of course, that gives immunity to specific elements, so you definitely want to diversify, particularly your flyer defense, and make sure you're using at least 2 different elements. We're going to be using the ceiling lasers and those ballistas. So we're going to get both of our elements covered there. And then in the first wave, by killing these flyers up front like this, we are also just saving a ton of par time. Oh man, getting a little close, a little too spammy there. Let's go ahead and back it up here and just shoot these guys down until we get a little bit more mana going on. The babies, of course, like to fly real fast, so you want to be cautious of those. They are the equivalent of the kobolds of the air. Alright, so we're going to continue to build this out. We're basically just going to pack everything in real tight here to make for just a beast mode little killing area where we can pretty much ignore all of the ground lanes. So With that in mind, we'll go something like this. I do want to save a little bit now and start working on our flyer last resort. Let's start off right about here. And we'll go with just a row of these auto ballistas, which are going to help out with those flyers quite a bit. We're going to have ground mobs, of course, coming now. This one, the part-time can get eaten up, especially if you allow the enemies to go upstairs at all. It's going to just tear your part-time apart. So you want to be conscious of that. Additionally, you got these little cubbies that the flyers come through. Flyers will be coming through these side cubbies. You can build up here as well. However, all the flyers do fly to the middle before they come down towards the rift. So I'm going to focus on just building everything in this middle area here. Now, as we wait for these enemies to come through, of course, we don't want to be up and around. I've gotten comments on videos about how they couldn't get the build to work. And then, I talk to the people and they're standing on top of their barricades or whatever. So, obviously you've got this huge map with massive range on your weapons. Take advantage of it. Don't stand there and let any of your stuff get destroyed. We got a little help now, which is kind of nice with these ballistas. Definitely helps a ton. The flyers, of course, are little triangles on the map. So if you look at the mini-map, you can watch for them and see as there's more triangles coming in. Oops, a little misplaced on that one. Want to sell one of those. Actually, we can just leave it there to help with the flyers. A little bit of a waste of our coin, but not the end of the world here. You do have a generous part-time on this one, but like I said, it can just get eaten apart if you're not careful. The 25 minutes can go super, super fast, especially if you're letting these enemies path around at all. So we see we've got some more flyers rolling in. Looks like the ballistas took care of those guys. We got a group right here, though. And looking pretty good. So we can go ahead and finish this row of ballistas. We'll go like right there. And then I want to start working on some absolute last resort for the flyers back here. And I'm going to go like either 2 or 3 ballistas on each side right up there. Important thing to note with the flyers too, they always fly over, they never fly under. So no point in building anything down here for the flyers themselves. It's just not going to help you out too much. I see we got a little ogre push through there. As we get this kill box rounded out a little bit more, those issues will be a little fewer and farther between. All right, and there we go. So let's go ahead and finish this one out just a touch. We'll go with more tar there. Something like that. We'll get another arrow wall right at the back. And then we're going to come down and start working a little more on the last resort. Now, as I mentioned, use 2 elements for the flyers. We've got physical right now with these ballistas. We're also going to add in some ceiling lasers. In fact, we can go ahead and start working on those right now. I normally try to hold off on the ceiling lasers a little bit because they do get a little bit eye bleedy. You guys will see what I'm talking about by the end. This will be completely full of lasers here, which is definitely going to make your eyes bleed just a touch. There's no doubt there. Of course, you can also shoot into the main kill box from here while being healed by the rift, which is quite nice. So if you do take any damage, don't hesitate to fall back. And then the boss on this one, we're not going to do anything special for. It's going to be a flying boss that comes right from that main flyer lane directly ahead of us. So we are not going to have to do anything to set up special for the boss. Just go ahead and come on back and hang out back here. We got a couple more flyers rolling in right here, it looks like. Looks like the ballistas are working on those guys pretty heavily. We can give them a little bit of a hand. Those frostbats, they can be rough if they freeze you. That is for sure. All right, so we got 3 ballistas on each side. I think we're good there. We can just continue to fill out this flyer defense here. Really all the way down. You're going to be generating just some combos automatically in your main kill box from the ground mobs. So you're going to have plenty of coin generation going on. That will allow you to really spam it out, that's for sure. Looks like those flyers got handled. We got a few more coming in. They're still outside. And then we got another round from the front as well. Actually, no, they're coming from the side, huh? We got a few more flyers coming in here. Try to get those right up top as they enter the complex. And looks like we have them all. They are a little bit hard to see, but you can make them out on the mini-map. Like I said, the flyers will be those triangles, of course. Get a little more last resort right at the end here. We'll go with something like that. We'll get some arrows in right there. And looking pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and let it fly, and I will just come on back down and continue to get our little last resort flyer defense all set up. And here is where the eye bleed really starts to happen. Yeah, we're looking through that the whole time. It actually can be a little difficult to spot the flyers in the air if you let them come in too far. And then we are going to have our boss flyer, which we want to go ahead and start setting up for. And we're going to do that by just spamming ceiling lasers back up in this area as well. The yellow dots through everything but the final wave, I believe, are going to be dynamite archers. So you definitely don't want to be hanging out around your barricades when you see those yellow dots come in. Go ahead and just pull it on back. You see the combos ripping off. We don't have any big combos going on, but we've got enough for some pretty good coin generation, which will make for hopefully a relatively easy 5 skulls. A few more coming in. That one got wrecked. Let's give those ballistas a little help here. And then we still got a bunch rolling in over on this side. Like, these guys are going to make it in first, maybe? And there we go. So we didn't even really need the mana rage. It's nice to have, even if you're not actively using the mana rage or the trap reset trinket, the passives on those are pretty powerful. With the additional mana pool, and then with the trap reset trinket, just traps passively resetting faster. It's just good stuff. We got a couple more flyers coming in, but let's just go ahead and chillax back here at the Rift. And we should be able to get our 5 skulls here without any problems.
Good work. Ooh, squishy. If I had a delicious beverage, I would.
And we still got a couple more. And it looks like that is it for the flyers. So now we just got the ground mobs. As you see, the majority of the ground lane is pretty much automated. We don't really have to put too much effort into that, which is kind of nice. All right, I think we can just let it fly, and just for boss overkill, we are going to spam lasers. This, of course, is going to deal with any leaks as well. So as we have anything that leaks through the kill box, they are going to get lasered up like crazy.
Found a good spot. Flyers in the air.
And there we go. We've got a ridiculous amount of flyer defense in now. Like I said, we can do stuff up at the sides. You know, we got grinders and arrow walls in our loadout. We got flyers coming through. Like, you could do something, you know, something like that, or just whatever. You know, throw some arrow walls out there. It's not going to clear the flyer lanes, but it will definitely assist you. And it'll get you out of this little eye bleed zone just a touch. But we've got our 2 elements down. We got a ton of ballistas. We got a pretty grotesque amount of ceiling lasers going. So the chances of a flyer making it back to the rift now, I think, is pretty slim. But you add in you assisting, and yeah, you're just going to handle it. Now, as you see the large yellow mobs on the mini-map, those are going to be some gnolls. I think this is going to be grenadiers. Yeah, it looks like grenadiers. They're charging through, of course, but you can just stun them up with your stone staff in the middle of those lasers and ballistas, and they're just completely a non-issue. Lots of mobs on this one, that is for sure. Of course, it's a war scenario. Supposed to be a lot of mobs. Let's go ahead and throw some grinders up here to even out our flyer defense a little bit. We got some more gnolls. Let's just go ahead and come on down, and we'll deal with those guys here. So once again, the same thing. If we stun them in the lasers, plus those ballistas, they're just going to get handled. Maybe? There it goes. Ballista took their time there to reload, but... And we still got some flyers pushing through. I don't think these guys will survive. I think they will just get automated here and get wrecked on their own. Only 10 minutes left on the part time. As you can see, like, the first time I did this map, I was setting it up more like an Orcs Must Die 2 map, and I put the barricades back here. And then what happened is just the enemy's path all the way up the stairs, all the way to here, before turning around and going back. And, you know, of course, that just completely destroyed the part time.
Is that it? I totally meant to do that.
Should be just about there on this one. There we go. Just going to go ahead and let it fly here to save as much time as we can. I mean, do we want to do anything else? I mean, we can do whatever. We can throw a few ballistas in. I mean, I feel like we got just a really, really jacked setup here right now. But you know what? Let's overkill it. Why not? There's no kill quite like overkill, so let's spam it all up. Oh, we can fit one more there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got an automated last wave even with the boss. Now, the boss being a flyer, of course you can't stone staff it and easy mode the boss. He's going to be immune to that stun. But he's going to have to fly through a whole mess of lasers before he gets down to us, so... We'll just be able to plug away at the boss the whole time. The boss doesn't come until really late in the wave, too, compared to the other war scenarios where the boss comes out relatively fast.
That got the blood pumping. Is that it?
We see we've got some splodies coming in over here in wave 6. I don't think this is... Yeah, oh, actually... Oh, man. We almost derped that one. That could have gone quite badly. So we do have wave 6 kobolds there we want to be conscious of. But there's no kobolds at all until wave 6. And I don't think there's any more after that. I think the answer here... Well, I didn't see him coming, or I could have just shot him. But the answer there, we B, you can just throw something in the lane there. Okay, here comes Chromatica. That's the boss. Let's deal with these gnolls first, though. We'll just bring them back through Laserville here. We got, what looks like a couple more flyers. I want to start getting some shots in on the boss. But we don't want to get killed by these flyers in the process. Chromatica coming on down. As soon as Chromatica hits the ballista area, just going to get tore up. It's a lot of ballistas up there, so it burns through, just burns through that HP quick. Yeah, you could throw either like, you could throw like some dummy barricades up there to just eat those kobolds. Or throw a bunch of brimstone down. The kobolds only come on that one side playing solo. So you only get the one set of them. So there's so much coin left over, you know, you kind of do whatever you want. You could do something like that. Or even just put a dummy up there. You could throw a bunch of brimstone that's back here. Like if those barricades weren't there, you could throw just brimstone along that row there. And none of the mobs are going to run over it, so the mobs won't trigger it. But there is a 5 skull run on the Canyon Keep. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful weekend. And I will see you all next time around. Take it easy.